A new order fell upon this world. From an untraceable past, projecting an unfathomable future. It brought us wisdom and innovation, power and hope. It brought us peace, and then came madness. It was as the prophecy foretold, sinners shall wail as the world burns in flames of desire, until the hero buried it deep under, with himself alongside it.
Hello everybody, and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about Crystal of Atlan and why it was rated so low. Now don't take that as me saying that I think so. I don't think it should be rated low, that's just how it was, but let's talk about it.
A fragment of the crystal. Alright, time to leave these ruins. Didn't think it'd be this easy. Are these guards? Just in time. I could use a quick workout.
Alright, what an intro. So, the first class we get to utilize is the warrior class, and it's very obviously consistent with attacking and actually grouping your enemies pretty well. It's actually a really good class. The second class we get to use is the sharpshooter class. And mind you, I had to do a lot of cuts with this because it was going to be a lot longer. I was really not a fan of the sharpshooting class. It had good specials, but at the same time, it does kind of low damage on your normal attack. Third class being puppeteer, which was actually a lot of fun once I got used to the playstyle of it. I wasn't really used to it at first. I thought it was going to operate from afar like other games such as like Naruto and even Wuthering Waves. The puppeteer classes kind of operate from a distance, but this lets you have more of a hands-on approach where they more of act as an implement, which I think is very unique and very interesting. So it's almost as if you get a second attack, you can get boosts and energy regeneration. It's really neat. A lot of the classes have a lot of tech, and I want to start by mentioning that because I don't know why it's rated so low. There's so much technical stuff that's involved with it. But anyways, the fourth class that we're introduced to is the magician. The magician is a lot. Now, there is a lot that you can do. It's high in damage, it's all magic, so you're going to be kind of weak to the physical stuff, but at the same time you're going to be having so many buffs and implementing so many debuffs that it's not really going to matter. So, and in the tutorial anyway, you're going to be way OP, so obviously it's not going to be how you first start off in the game, but I do think that the game has a lot of flair even with just starting off. Anyways, now this I like. So basically you have a class select, and with that you have the initial 4 classes and a 5th one, which at first I'm like, we didn't see anything to do with the 5th one, so eventually that's going to be the one that I choose. But I do like the way that this is implemented, other than it being one lone hero in a time long far from now, locked to a certain class. You actually get to kind of mold your destiny in a sense as far as fighting style and all that. So yeah, I went with the fighter. It was new and unique and interesting.
Look, that's Lumiville up ahead. This is your first time on a mission, right? Don't worry, it's just a few decade.
All right, listen up, everyone. We have got to retake the mine. Without magicites, how are we going to make a living? How will we pay taxes? This is why the Decade have got to go. Hey, don't leave!
The person in charge! Let's go!
After choosing your character and seeing that cutscene, you're met with a camera select, which I think is a pretty interesting idea, honestly. And then after that, that's when the real adventure starts. You have to talk to your guildmate Ellie and basically kick things off. Start your investigation of these creatures called the Decayed, which you don't really have a basis of knowledge on, but I bet more will build as the game goes on. I mean, right? Right. Anyway, there's going to be a lot, and I mean a lot, of tedious walking back and forth. I mean, sometimes it is so droning, especially when the characters are 5 feet from one another and you have to walk back and forth about 3 or 4 times. Alright, now for the meat and potatoes of it, the gameplay after the tutorial. Is it good? Is it worth it? I think it's fluid and fun. The implementing of the special moves, you can kind of slot your own. It is technically an MMO. It's just more stylized and like a high octane action that has a ranking system similar to Devil May Cry, where you can achieve a triple S rank combo. I found myself getting lost in the gameplay and even the environments. Like, of course, certain areas may look the same, may look similar, but at least you have life to the stages, and they also have some hidden unlockables and things of that nature, things to make you want to explore. I mean, take for instance, this is like the first boss of the game, which, I mean, in normal circumstances, of course, it's going to be easier, but this is after the tutorial, so they could throw anything at you, but you feel like such a boss when you're just going through, landing the combos, rolling out of the way, jumping over, doing a ground pound, or uppercutting, or doing whatever you have to do to beat that boss. It feels satisfying. It also has a gear enhancement system, which is a catch-22. I like it because it has longevity to the gear, but at the same time it has a lot of the drawbacks that some of the mobile games do, where there is a success rate. I specifically remember a lot of MMOs that I played on my phone that did the same thing, and the whole idea is pay for the best armor and then you beat the game. Now obviously you can find good armor in the game, but obviously it's just there for an easy option. But let's talk about the dungeoneering. The dungeoneering in the game is quite interesting. You will hit certain checkpoints by enemies defeated, or a boss, or a cutscene that will ask you, would you like to continue, go back, or retry, I believe, is the other option. And basically, it allows for more free movement throughout the dungeon rather than having to gauntlet the whole thing at one time, and each checkpoint is a certain percent. Okay, and even though the combat is all similar, you still have the same fighting style and this, that, whatever, you have different styles of gameplay, meaning you may have to run after something, you may have to protect something, or it's just the standard one person versus all, which I think is a good dose of strategy in between the same gameplay. And surprisingly, you have a skill tree that actually adds a lot more depth to each of your moves, adds a lot more tech, and you can actually class branch at level 15. So I think there are a lot of good ideas here. They're actually implemented pretty well too. And after a certain amount of progression, you're asked to speak to a veteran adventurer who happens to be like one of the head honchos, and that's when you get your class change. I chose the Starbreaker because the Starbreaker just looks insane. I mean, check this shit out. I'm like going bananas, easily defeating the whole room without any problems. You also get a massive upgrade to your skill tree, so there's more depth into your gameplay. It's definitely worth it to upgrade your character and upgrade your skill tree and change classes for more. You can also customize your character to your liking, changing the face, the hairstyle, and the color of clothing. honestly and truthfully, and honestly, I don't know why this game is rated so low. I mean, the unique style of gameplay where it's an MMO, but it also controls more like a high octane game, like a Devil May Cry clone, is just weird to me. I think that it's fun, unique. Sure, there are some things that I feel are stupid, but that's just nitpicking, and that's, you know, not the point. The point is the gameplay, and the gameplay is there. It's a lot of fun. Taking down bosses in this style is just, there's something about it. That's what made the Devil May Cry game so special, was just the style that it left with it. So I don't know, maybe it'll jump up as time goes on. I hope so. Maybe there'll be some updates. We'll see. But with that, everybody, I recommend this game. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all. 1K gang. Let's go.
Along the time stream, how long till I
Adventure!
Hi.
Can you hear me?
find
Huh? It's gone.